All righty. Thank you. Thank you, folks. Here we are again with another Meet Me. And today we're talking to Letty Wong, one of our members and a younger marketer. So Letty, just do us a little favor, introduce yourself and what connection you have to me and AI and what prompted you to join.
Hey, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am early in my career in marketing. I have 3 years of marketing experience. I've worked in tech, I've worked in nonprofits and other companies that are for professional development for women. I also have a banking background.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know we have that in common. Let's talk about that for a second. Sorry, go
sure.
ahead.
Commercial banking. I was at the bank for 3 years. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm connected to this community because I met Stephen at Toronto Marketing Hub. There was an event about AI for enterprise marketers, and he was a speaker. And I met him there with Leslie and Liz, and I found out that him and Liz helped to create the Chartered Marketer designation program that I had started almost 2 years ago. So that was exciting for me. Yeah.
Great, great. That's wonderful. Well, we're happy to have you, and we're gonna answer our typical five questions. I'm super excited that you're here, and also congratulations on finishing up the CM designation. Well, have you gotten the actual paperwork yet?
I'm waiting to hear back from the summit, but I'm done on my end.
Good, good, good. You did all the curriculum. Yes, yes. I was hired by the CMA and worked for 4.5 years to build the original CM curriculum, and it was a lot of work, but it's very gratifying. And before that, I was at U of T. So I'm glad you finished up. That's great. And that's actually you've already had some great experience if you've been not for profit on the tech side too. I think. It's important for marketers to understand the challenges for the not-for-profit space and where sponsorship and money and that sort of thing is a big difference. So glad to have you here, and thanks for joining us. Yes, we're Liz and I are closing in on about 500 members, but it's great to see how diverse people are in the community, and it's so changing so fast. So, are you working now?
Not right now. I'm looking for new opportunities, but I've been upskilling in the meanwhile. I've been taking some courses on AI at BrainStation and the CMA.
Oh, that's right. Yes, congratulations. I don't know much about BrainStation, but it's great. And also, I think, and this is something for all marketers, there's so much to stay on top of now, right? I mean, it's just changing so fast that I mean, it's a serious challenge. And Liz and I are talking about this on a regular basis with members of the community and also professionally is how do we get the enterprise up to speed? Because there's just, pockets of AI adoption along the way. So anyway, great to have you here. Let's start with the first question. Also, and then I'd like to talk to you about using AI for job search because there's some really advanced tools. But how do you use AI personally these days? Give me, if you don't, that's fine. But if you do, what do you use it for?
Yeah. Um, well, personally, I've played around with some of the image generators. I
Yep.
tried the AI image generator and PixArt on Discord. And you get to choose from different art styles, and you just give it a description, and you can keep reiterating, and it could get better. And that could help with graphic design.
Sure.
Um, I played around for fun with there's an app called Remini, and this was just purely for fun. It shows you what you'd look like in different fashions in different eras, like the Victorian era, 1920s and 1950s.
Cool.
It You have to upload a bunch of pictures of yourself and keep doing iterations, and it took longer than I thought it would, but it was really cool to see what it would look like. It was pretty bang on afterwards. I can also give you one more example. I did use AI professionally, and I use it to write blogs, and I could start doing that personally as well. So it helps me with brainstorming blog topics and
Yep.
then some kind of interview questions. if I were to ask a subject matter expert. And then I record a video with the interviewee, and then I put the transcription into Otter AI. And
Yeah.
then you have to fix the transcription because it's a little mediocre. But after that, you can put it into ChatGPT and ask it to form it into a blog. So you'll tell it what the role is, like maybe you're a copywriter, and how many characters you need, and who the audience is and what the objective is. And then it'll come out with a blog. Now, that blog isn't anywhere near like ready to publish, but it's better than starting from scratch from just a piece of paper that's blank.
Yeah, good for you. So, and I think that's what most, I mean, when you're talking to someone who's new to AI in general, I think the best approach is kind of like a very smart assistant is what you're getting, not a substitute. And also, now I don't know if you've seen them now, but you can spot them a mile away. And I'm somewhat guilty of this, but you'll see these LinkedIn posts that are very clearly almost entirely AI generated lately, with like six emojis, or like, you know what I mean? They're just kind of rote. And on the one hand, it's helpful to create social media content and content marketing things and blog posting. But at the same time, if you don't do the work and make it personalized, it's just more noise, right? It's not. So anyway, back to the image generators. It's a fascinating space, and I've been studying them now for about a year. But if you're on Discord, Midjourney's on Discord, and I used to just stand there and just not stand there, but sit there and watch the Discord servers because it was so amazing to see the outputs of it. But now we'll have text to video engines coming very, very soon. So anyway, it's nice to hear from that. Nice to hear about your experience. And yes, there's a fair number of approaches, kind of frameworks. I mean, we even have it on the site too with Leslie Hughes about using AI to help you with a job search and customizing your resume and respond. I mean, obviously it could do a lot for you. I think it's important to still keep the personal touch, but using a custom GPT or training a project in Claude, you can like load job descriptions, load your resume, and then have it do a lot of the grunt work for you or help you brainstorm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move. What scares you about AI?
Um, Malicious use and like malfunctions. So like disinformation and a loss of control. Because it's, kind of new. We're early on,
Yeah,
especially in Canada. Like if you're not using an AI like Perplexity that fact checks, you could be using information that is a hallucination. And um, if you trust the AI too much and you get too comfortable, and you just, you might think, okay, it did all this for me, but you might not notice that they added something,
yeah,
because you're asking it to write, like a blog or something,
yeah,
like 800 words, and you didn't know they added something at the end of one sentence, right? It could be very little and you don't catch it.
yeah.
And then you start sharing this information, and this could really affect your personal brand because you need to do your due diligence. And even if it's not intentional, right? You share something and then someone else shares it, and now it's out there. Yeah.
Yep, you're very wise for saying that because it's very important, and it also goes back to the whole thing of an assistant too. My colleague Liz was working on client work. This was a couple weeks ago, and it was ChatGPT. She's both of us are using Claude quite a bit now, and we recommend Claude for marketers just because the content in general is better. Just it's general statement, but they're both extremely capable. But she was working on a client deliverable, and there was a hallucination, right? Literally, just like you said, Letty, at the end of a strategy document or something, and Liz actually said this is a lie. She did the checking, and she said this is a lie, and it admitted it. GBT admitted, which I find fascinating. But also, that's another tact that we kind of stress here at the site too, and for people that are kind of scared or not testing or using the large language models. I keep saying it this way, but it's like the revenge of the liberal arts major. The better communicator you are, the better outputs you get, and the quicker you understand the power of AI, because it's trained on all the text in the civilized world and the non-civilized world too. So the better communicator you are, and if you start talking to it like a human being, and I know that's not the case, you'll get better results. So, but yes, you're very, very wise to point out, especially for marketers, one fell swoop and you could be in serious hot water with a product claim or something like that, right? You could get in serious trouble. So always double check your work and be responsible for your work. That gets us back to the whole idea of governance in general, right? And that's something I'm super interested in, but it's challenging. Like our governments can barely keep up with keeping the TTC running here in Toronto. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like we can't expect our government really to be on top of AI when it's changing so fast. Now, is it ultimately, and to some degree, yes, but there's some great people working on human feedback and human rights and bias, and you know what I mean, trying to make sure that AI is as open to everyone and non-biased. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. What do you hope? What do you hope? Like, and let's go from bad to good. What do you hope AI can do, and for marketing in general, but also for us all?
Well, first of all, new marketers are super lucky they have AI as a tool. When I first started out, I didn't have this, so I have to write these press releases from scratch.
Right, right,
Um, I think for me, AI can help with creative brand development. So one of the courses I took at BrainStation, I learned how to use different tools together. And so your starting point when you make a draft is no longer just a blank piece of paper. So you can
right.
use AI to write a brand story,
Yep,
brainstorm tactics, do even storyboarding, and logo creation. So what I needed to learn was how to do effective prompt engineering in order to
right,
give it the right information, ask it to do the right things, and then it can have better output. And the CMA also has some good courses. And I also went to a conference in Chicago at the IBC World Conference, and they had a workshop for marketers on what kind of prompts to tell AI and what tools to use to get it to help you write content. And you can't use all of it, obviously, but it helps you get to like maybe some for certain things you can get to 80%, and then you have
yep,
to fix the remaining. And some it just gives you maybe 30 or 40%.
yep,
And I like having to do that and not just from scratch. You can get more creative and focus on strategy and just it's just like having an assistant that helps you brainstorm, someone to bounce ideas off of, but not a person, more like an
right.
entity. So in marketing, that's really helpful. We have so much work to do, and this can cut down on some of that kind of work. I think outside of marketing, just in our lives, I think if this technology can help with important, like critical sectors like healthcare and education, that could make impact like globally on a larger scale. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, wonderful. I couldn't agree more. And I'm truly fascinated about what it's going to do to education and online education. You know what I mean? Because I developed courses at U of T and then at the CMA. So, that's a lot of, like you said, it's like a blank page. But now the ability to bring in AI effective tutors into an online class where the curriculum is still important, but if you're missing a piece or you need help with something, the idea of having an infinitely patient tutor to help you learn is exciting, and that's going to take some time. But but yes, the ability for breakthroughs in healthcare and cancer research and things where the AI can parse through billions of data records to find some insights is exciting. And I think it's important that people kind of keep that in mind. I mean, there's so much worrying and doom and gloom about AI too that I think we have to keep it as much a balanced opinion as possible. But to back to marketing, like you said, um, you know, to get a we want to, I don't, prompt engineering is kind of complex and simple at the same time, but for a lot of people they need to understand some basic frameworks. There's one called the risen framework where it's like, give the large language model enough context to be or play a role. Like you've seen some of this engineering, like you are a graphic designer or you are a content strategist, to set the LLM up to respond. And then, like you said, there's iterations. You can iterate as you go. So anyway, fascinating. And it's nice to hear that you're using it in such different ways. Okay. Um, all right. Well, we'll finish up with the most important question now, which is kind of funny. We Liz had a meet me last night, and the response was interesting, but well, they're always interesting. Letty Wong, what is the best sandwich?
I have to take this opportunity to, give a shout out to the Hong Kong style egg sandwich because Hong Kong's my
Oh,
background. So I feel like this would be a more unique answer. What it is, it's these extra fluffy scrambled eggs and it's on milk bread. You typically find them at Hong Kong cafes, which are really casual kind of fusion type
right.
food. And I like it for breakfast or like a really light lunch. Sometimes I make them at home. It's nice when you work from home so you can just go in the kitchen and make this and have it fresh.
I have never had one, but I bake a lot of bread, so I love the milk bread. I don't, I mean, but yes, I've seen them on TikTok. So wait, hold on now. Is hot sauce a decent addition to those?
You can add it. I mean, I don't think it's typically there in the cafes, but you can totally add that. Yes.
I just think I would sneak a pack of sriracha with me, maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna try one. It's funny. The minute you said that, I realized I really haven't had a good one. And I want an actual kind of, but they're gorgeous on TikTok. They're light and fluffy, and I'm sure I would love it. All right, well there you go, Letty. We have a great sandwich reco too. Thanks for stopping by. It's great to have you here, and stay in touch. Keep visiting the community. We're gonna try and we're working on a new lab area, but thanks for being here, and we'll stay in touch. And best of luck moving forward with your career.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to chat with you today about AI and sandwiches and everything in between.
Wonderful. All right, you enjoy the rest of the summer. We're here in Toronto. It doesn't last all that much longer, right?
I agree. You as well,
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Steven.